Okay, let's unpack this. For you, the focus today is a deep dive into the fascinating world of multidisciplinary artist and filmmaker Roos van der Yacht.
Hmm.
We're tracking a phenomenal trajectory, really. One that spans decades of traditional visual culture and lands, well, squarely at the cutting edge of AI-driven critique.
Exactly. And our source material today is just so rich. It blends her extensive professional biography, from founding her studio back in the 90s with the hyper-contemporary.
Right.
We're specifically synthesizing that history with the detailed proposal for her upcoming installation, Lionheart, which has been selected for the prestigious Haute Photography 2026 exhibition.
So the mission here is to give you the full picture. What does it look like when an artist with these deep, deep analog roots not only embraces the current AI revolution, but starts using it to lead a critical conversation?
A conversation about power, spectacle, surveillance.
Yes, this blend of analog experience and digital pioneering is where it gets really interesting. It's a journey from, the dark room to the generative engine.
It absolutely is. And to understand Lionheart, you really have to first ground yourself in her long-standing themes.
Okay.
Bruce van der Yacht's primary inquiry has, always been pretty consistent. She explores identity, the pervasive influence of technology, and the societal imagination. She seems deeply interested in how these huge technological shifts,
Like from cinema to AI?
exactly, how those shifts fundamentally influence human memory and just shape our visual culture.
In her early career shows, she was never content to stay in just one lane. She's truly multidisciplinary.
Oh, for sure.
We're talking about a recognized filmmaker who, back in 2022, presented her 5-minute short film, Tarot, which is this
Yeah.
work-spanning experimental drama, fantasy, social issues,
And she presented it at two major international stages, the Cannes Short Film Corner and the International Film Festival Rotterdam, or IFFR.
which is huge.
That film background is so crucial. She approaches still photography and even AI generation with a cinematic eye. She's always focusing on narrative, on framing, on mood.
But her range extends beyond the moving image, too, right?
It does. She was a finalist for a slavery victims sculpture tribute at the Louvre in 2020. That project involved collaboration with the French Ministry of Culture.
Wow.
So when you look at her foundation, film, sculpture, these high-concept visual arts, you see an artist who is grappling with heavy, lasting societal questions through, physical, time-consuming media.
So she has this incredibly rich history in the physical and the traditional, yet she's so clearly adapting. And that momentum carried right into contemporary recognition.
It did.
In 2024, she was named one of the 100 photographers to watch by Hug Studios. That stamp of approval, especially in the photographic space,
Yeah.
coming after decades of work in analog and film, it really validates her transition.
It does. It implies a recognition that her fundamental understanding of light, of composition, of narrative, it all translates even when the medium itself is synthetic.
Yeah.
And that's a key distinction, I think. It's not just that she started in traditional media, it's that she mastered it. That visual literacy is what allows her to manipulate the language of generative AI so effectively now.
Right.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it just shows that true artistic rigor isn't bound by the tool, but by the conceptual framework you bring to it.
That foundational visual history is what makes her next step, her leadership in the generative space, so important. So how did she jump that gap from traditional exhibition spaces to leading the digital charge? Because it seems her involvement is both institutional and actively creative.
Institutionally, she didn't just passively adopt AI. She became an advocate, a leader. Back in 2020, she founded the Earth Rising Foundation.
Okay.
And this wasn't just some side project. It's dedicated entirely to digital empowerment and creative technology. They curate workshops, collaborative projects focusing on AI, programming, visual arts.
And that idea of digital empowerment feels like the philosophical counterpoint to the critiques of control she presents in her art.
Yes.
Well, she's trying to democratize the tools while simultaneously critiquing the power structures that those same tools can document or mimic. That's a very sophisticated position to take.
It is. And she cemented her position at the absolute forefront of this space in 2025 by becoming one of the 300 founding members of Wonder Studios.
And for you listening, if you're unfamiliar, that's a highly exclusive global community. It's made up of pioneering AI creators dedicated to shaping the future of AI-driven storytelling and media.
So this isn't just dipping a toe in the water. This is being recognized by her peers as one of the, architects of the new digital visual culture.
And we see that architectural mindset in her work, her commissioned and independent AI work, Let's look at a specific example from 2024. She completed an AI photography project.
Ah, yes, the Commission for Omgevingsdienst Noordzee-Kanalalgebied.
That's a mouthful, but the substance is the exploration of environmental landscapes using what the sources call synthetic photography, and that includes portraits.
The term synthetic photography is just so crucial here. It's what happens when you use generative models not just to create like fantasy images, but to produce images that are photorealistic yet entirely constructed.
So in the environmental context, she's using AI to visualize and reinterpret landscapes, blurring the line between documentary and complete fabrication.
Completely. It forces you to ask, what is the nature of a photograph when the source material is data, not light-hitting film?
That definitely sets the stage for her film work, too. She has the groundbreaking AI-powered short film, Timeless, which is coming soon to major international film festivals.
And it's scheduled to screen during Digital Hollywood 2025. You know, when sources call a film groundbreaking, it usually implies some major technical innovation.
Yeah, perhaps in how the narrative was generated or how the visuals were achieved purely through generative models.
Absolutely. And this body of work, it really culminates in a sharp political edge. She also directed Twins Propaganda in 2025.
Described as a glossy, satirical short film asking the question, what happens when power gets bored?
Yes. It's this blend of politics, media critique, celebrity culture, influencers. You can see her using these high-gloss, high-fidelity digital tools to essentially satirize the very class that defines its own image through that same high-gloss media.
Which brings up a really important question for you, the listener. If she spent decades mastering the analog language of light and film, a medium historically tied to truth, right, to documentation, how does she now use the synthetic, inherently fictional language of AI to critique those same structures of power?
And the Lionheart Project, her submission for Haute Photography 2026, provides the ultimate answer.
Is the synthesis.
Yes, Lionheart is the synthesis of her past and her present. So let's dive deep into the concept here. The physical setting is everything. The entire series is set aboard what the source material repeatedly calls the world's most expensive private superyacht.
That choice of location is just. It's immediately loaded with meaning. A superyacht isn't just luxury. It's a floating symbol of ultimate excess, of engineered perfection and isolation.
It's a space designed to be completely untouchable, self-sufficient, entirely separate from the societal norms it just floats above.
Exactly.
And what's fascinating is the conceptual tension she creates. She chooses that ultra-controlled environment, and then she introduces an element of chaos. Using cinematic photography, so these aren't casual snapshots, they are highly constructed scenes. And stage fiction, the series explores how identity is performed, how it's surveilled, and negotiated within these spaces built for power.
And the protagonist is the key to unlocking that whole narrative. The sources describe this figure as a hybrid muse, performer, and intruder.
Yes.
They move through the pristine environment of the superyacht like a glitch in a perfect system. And that contrast, the engineered perfection of the yacht versus the unexpected intruder, that's the narrative engine.
It forces you to ask questions. Is this a break-in? Is it a fantasy? Is it some, internal psychological disturbance within the owner?
Or is it a commentary on how surveillance and performance have become so integral to modern life that even in a space of untouchable luxury, your own identity feels both performed and infiltrated?
The glitch is the moment of truth in the perfection.
And the visual language is so meticulously chosen to underscore this tension. It borrows directly from the high-end media she so often critiques.
Yeah, the prints frame a moment of intense elegance under pressure. Desire, suspicion, ambition, escape. You see these deliberate echoes of fashion photography and luxury advertising. The clean lines, the high gloss.
But she solely undermines it.
She undermines it through these unsettling narrative elements. Let's talk about those specific visual details because they're what really stick with you.
Please.
The sources mention two highly evocative images. One is this striking, stylized portrait, a glamorous beach, maybe near the yacht, but juxtaposed against a boat with the word police clearly visible on it. And the other detail mentioned is just truly disruptive. It's the image of a pure white horse standing fully in the middle of a pristine luxury bedroom inside the yacht.
The horse is incredible. I mean, that's the ultimate violation of the engineered space. It's a beautiful yet messy analog creature, of history and nature.
Right.
Suddenly standing on the high pile carpet of modern hyper-designed excess. It's not just documenting luxury, it's fictionalizing it and fundamentally dismantling that sense of control.
And the police detail adds that critical layer of surveillance and consequence, suggesting that this elegance is being watched or maybe that the escape isn't guaranteed.
Exactly. And because these images are AI generated, they carry this whole other layer of critique. They mimic the high-definition, slick aesthetic of actual luxury advertising, but they are entirely fabricated.
Making the viewer question the authenticity of the visual language of power itself.
So moving from the concept to the execution, the presentation for Haute Photography 2026 is designed to reflect the very luxury and spectacle that the work critiques.
It is. The sources emphasize the technical specs, reinforcing that cinematic intention. These are large-scale Ultra HD cinematic films, stills in a wide 16:9 ratio.
And the physical presentation is as much a critique as the image content itself.
Absolutely. The technical specs demand high-end materials designed to maximize reflectivity and gloss. The prints are mounted behind plexiglass, that highly polished, engineered surface, in pretty substantial sizes.
What are we talking size-wise?
Either 120 by 67.5 centimeters or 150 by 84.4 centimeters. This is all designed to immerse you in a simulated, glossy reality.
And it's not just a gallery of stills, is it? It's a fully hybrid, immersive environment.
That's the innovation in the layout. Lionheart is a layered installation. It combines 8 of these large-scale prints, 4 on the left wall, 4 on the right, with a critical moving element.
The video.
A short 3-4-minute video loop presented on a central 4K screen. This mirrors the artist's own career synthesis, The traditional photographic still fused with the modern 4K moving image.
And the installation design, it ensures the viewing experience is part of that critique of spectacle. The presentation is explicitly described as luxurious and cinematic.
With careful attention to architectural, aesthetic, reflective surfaces. It even dictates the precise lighting. It must be lit at a 45-degree angle.
Wow. That dictated lighting is crucial, isn't it? It's designed to create a specific dramatic mood.
It is. It amplifies the high gloss of the plexiglass and the controlled environment of the images. By constructing a gallery space that feels both opulent and slightly unsettling, she forces the viewer to walk into this world of engineered perfection.
She makes you part of the surveillance narrative.
It's an exercise in environmental narrative design.
So if we connect this all back to the bigger picture, the Lionheart project masterfully synthesizes every single element of her professional life. Her previous commitment to physical craft, which is evident in her work using high-end archival paper, is now fused with AI-generated art and film, all packaged in this high-gloss, gallery-ready format.
It's a profound statement on how new technology can be used not just for creation, but for, intellectual confrontation.
Yeah.
Indeed. The project asks these profound questions about control, authenticity, and excess within simulated luxury. She is leveraging the very tools that could be used to create unquestioning propaganda for the elite, that ultra-high-fidelity, hyper-realistic, glossy aesthetic, and turning them into instruments of satire and critical inquiry.
So what does this all mean for you? The sources reveal an artist who is exceptionally agile. She's proving that an extensive background in analog arts provides a powerful foundation for critically engaging with the digital future. She's actively curating a critical dialogue around the visual language of power.
Whether that power resides on a super yacht, as in Lionheart,
Or in the political satire of a film like Quint's Propaganda, you've just received the deep dive into the 2026 art world future.
and consider this as you think about her work. The sources show her commitment to technology, but also her insistence on high physical quality in the presentation. Those large-scale plexiglass prints, the 4K video, the dictated 45-degree lighting. If identity is now inherently performed and surveilled, as Lionheart suggests, how does using AI to generate that critique further complicate the line between manufactured performance and observable reality for the viewer walking through that meticulously lit gallery?